All right, lads. This will be the last. This will be the last analysis video from St. Paul's, and we'll focus on offloading. Here's where we can really shine and be brilliant, particularly in the Omaha pod. So here's a bit of a. Okay, look at that. Ball straight to the Zackster. Look at that. Zach takes him on the inside. So look at that. He fights through. Look at that. So he broke the gain line, which is good. So he resolved rule number 1 for the offload. He sees Chuck. I don't know if he hears Chuck. Everything is good. Everything is good. Pass could be a little higher, but that's fine. What's the problem? Whose fault is it here? Chuck. Terrible, Chuck. Chuck, this is your fault. Where do we want to be? So basically, Chuck, you want to be a step in and deeper. All right, so if you had taken that ball, Chuck, you just would have gotten tackled. This dude would have tackled you. Let's watch it in real time. Chuck, you are walking. Almost stopped. When we do that offload drill, what do we say? You want to catch that offload at full speed. So when we are in the Omaha pod or maybe even the Blue Jay pod, you have to be thinking to yourself, this is an offload opportunity. Blue Jay and Omaha pods is an offload bonanza. And so if you're this shallow next to the ball carrier, well, this is what's going to happen. And even if you had caught that ball, Chuck, you would have been so standing flat-footed that you would have gotten tackled. If you're right here and you take that offload at full speed, you score. See, I mean, you're basically walking, and this guy would have tackled you. But if you'd taken that full speed, zoom, you'd be in for a try, and that would be a gosh darn highlight reel try. Again, so we're playing good rugby. What do we want, guys? What's the word? Word of the week, brilliant. We want brilliance. Okay, so we really have the opportunity for like highlight reel material in the Blue Jay and the Omaha. So here's an example of the Blue Jay. So I don't really know why I put this clip in here other than to show really great decision making by Tony. So Tony shows the pass, and look at that, reads it now. Had Tony made the pass, it would have been a pick 6. So Tony shows it and then goes upfield. I mean, that's really, really smart play by Tony. Palmer comes in to win the ruck, and then Tony, look at that. Look, Tony pops. You can see it right here. Pops to Palmer, and Palmer moves it to Newell, and we're on the attack. I mean, so that's great work. 1, Tony making the correct read, and 2, it's the offload. Watch it. Tony goes down, little offload to Palmer. Palmer moves the ball immediately wide, and that's great work. Really great work. Offload to Palmer. Palmer moves it wide to the guys in space. Gentlemen, we will always have men out wide in the trams. The trams are the 5 meter, the little 5 meter zone. This play, what we see right here, will always be open. So that is really, really just tip-top, excellent work. Let's look at 12:53. And what do we see? All right. Langston says he offloaded this. This is where Pat scores. We can't see it. Watch. Boop. Oh, boy. All right. So what are we going to say here? Palmer, brilliant. Palmer makes a brilliant read. He could give it to Zach, Look at these defenders. These defenders are thinking it's Palmer and Zach going to take it in. This is a brilliant play, read, pass by Palmer. Because what does he see? There's one defender out wide and two Blue Jays. Langston, my man, this is catch and pass. So this is a fluke try for us. This shouldn't have been a try. It's a great tackle by the St. Paul's player. Langston, you've got to read that it's a 2-on-1. So for you, you catch the ball and you immediately pass it to Pat, who walks in for the try. Boop. All right, so again, good rugby, but it should be brilliant. Langston, that's an easy read that you should make. You've got to play in your mind. Before the ball gets to you, you got to say, okay, when the ball comes to me, what do I need to do? You've got to be able to recognize that the play is catch, draw the defender, and immediately pass to Pat, who can just literally walk in because there's no more defenders. We're trying to create overloads, guys, and so we want to be able to exploit them properly. Okay, look at this. Look at this, Sonny Bill Williams. We'll call him Sonny Bill Beckman. Look at that. Okay, again, what's my criticism going to be? Too flat. Like, all right, we've stopped. So again, if we're in the Omaha pod, think to yourself, offload bonanza. And in order to effectively receive an offload, you have to maintain proper depth and catch it at full speed. Let's watch this in real time. Beckman is running at a nice speed. Everyone else is so flat with him. Look what happens. Stopped. Okay, so that's good rugby, but it could be brilliant rugby because if Palmer and Tyndall were basically, I mean, you want to be at the depth, almost that Frank is. And as he comes in, you've got to be screaming to him. So he gets the ball here, and you guys should be telling him, attack, or something, or pass or hands, because you've only got one defender. So if Beckman passes to Palmer, Palmer takes this guy. There's no more defenders, and then Palmer can pass to Tyndall, and Tyndall runs. The point is, though, you guys got to be talking to Zach, telling him what to do. And if you want him to attack, then you guys have to slow down and read that he's got the offload available. And then Sonny Bill Beckman makes a brilliant offload. And instead of this getting tackled here, this becomes a try down the sideline. So this is good rugby, but we want it to be brilliant. This is a great series. Look at that. Great rucking, immediately pick and go, another pick and go. This was tip top. And instead of all these pick and goes, what we could have had was a try. So again, good rugby, but not attaining the level of brilliance that we could. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at this. This is so beautiful. It's giving me goosebumps right now. Look at that. Shropshire, where's your hands? Get your hands out. And look at this. Look at Tony. Look at Tony catching the ball in full stride. That is some pretty right there. And watch, what do we see? Look at that right there. Offload to Gabe. Why is Gabe catching an offload? How is Gabe here and then catches an offload there? Right? That's called great work rate. So that is just a brilliant pass. That's just exciting. And then watch, Gabe continues to trail the play, and he's no doubt he's talking to Tony right now. And then Tony, look at that. Oh my goodness, that is a brilliant offload. And then watch this. This is the example that we're talking about. Look at the speed that Palmer is running. Palmer is running. Look, he's coming from depth. Look at the depth right here. And right there, he takes it at full speed. Now look at that, he goes through. Had he been walking, like we saw in some of the other clips, had he just been standing still, well, these guys would have tackled him. This right here is the difference. He takes that offload at full speed. And you know what happens if we watch this in real time? We see oohs and ahs, like, oh, look at that. Now watch. Gabe takes the offload from Tony. Then Gabe gives the offload to Palmer. And then right here, Gabe, Palmer, offload to Gabe. Now is Gabe walking? A little bit, right? Gabe could have been a little deeper. Gabe's got some nice explosion, though, and it turns into a try. That right there, gentlemen, is what we call champagne rugby. So if we get these offloads effectively, this gentleman right here is Brilliance. And I said we're looking for Brilliance. This whole series is Brilliance. It goes from good to brilliant. Let's watch this whole thing. Let's watch this. This is when I said some of the best rugby I've ever seen Jesuit play of any year. It starts right here. And we go from good rugby to Brilliance. Let's watch the whole thing.
Outside, Langston.
You hear Gabe yelling, Brady, Brady. That's communication. That's what we all need to be doing more. And here comes the Brilliance. Guys, you hear the sound of the sideline? That's a sound that you hear when the sideline is watching brilliant rugby, and that was brilliant. And guys, we can, I promise, we are poised and set to do this again and again and again. You can see it in these clips. You can see it. We are on the verge of brilliance consistently. All right, guys, that is absolutely just stunningly great rugby. If we keep doing that, what am I saying? What I'm saying is we should be able to consistently and keep doing that again and again and again. Brother Martin is going to have no idea what hit them. Look at that there. All right. So here's a nice offload. Now, what speed is Lath taking it? Lath is not coming full speed. Right? He's going at a half trot, and look at the meters that he gets. Look at that. He accelerates and gets great run. Now, if Lath had held his depth just a little bit or slowed down just a little bit so he could burst onto that ball at full speed, just imagine. I mean, so this is another great example. Again, Blue Jay in Omaha is an offload bonanza.
Oh, David!
I don't know why that stopped there. Let's watch it one more time. I mean, just really nice stuff. Look, this is in the hammer. Look at that. Brady giving. This is in the hammer. Let's watch it.
Oh, David!
Oh, and then look at Shropshire. Look at that. This is, get out of here. Look at that. That's lovely. Just lovely. And then Brady, look at that. Oh my God. Oh no. Is this more brilliance? Oh, yes. Guys, brilliance. I'm sorry, we're going to have to watch that whole clip. Remember when I said there was a couple phases of play? Well, this immediately followed the last phase of brilliance. So we basically had a 6-minute period in the game where we were absolutely brilliant. Let's watch the whole thing. Because this is brilliance. All of it.
Oh, David!
Look at the good footwork by David in the offload. Oh, and then Shropshire imposing his will. And then Brady with a nice wide pass. Good read, Brady. And the offload. And the offload. And the spin move. And the pick and go by Childs. Childs still in the action. And then Brady moves it wide for the try. God, that was absolutely awesome. There's no reason that every single time we have the ball, we should be able to do that. You guys are so good and so well poised. Every single time we have the ball, we should do that. All right, that's it. Make sure to watch all the videos. See you at practice.